What's up, guys? Welcome back to the That Sowdev podcast. My name is Dev. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I appreciate you. We have so much tea to get into today. I'm so excited, honestly, guys. I have to share a lot with you. But before we get into this tea, make sure you go and follow me at That Sowdev on Twitter, Instagram, and literally everywhere else, including YouTube. We kind of popping over there. If you're streaming, make sure you like and subscribe. Okay. Now, guys, oh my goodness. Look, there's a lot going on, right? And by this title, I'm sure you could have a general idea of what I'm talking about, because this is a big question that I seem to get. What's next? What's next for you in your endeavors, and just generally speaking? Who the hell knows? Who the hell knows what's next? You know, I don't spend too much time thinking about what's next, and that's mainly because I'm already planning what's next, or I'm already doing what's next. I'm always doing multiple things at the same time. I'm always doing something, and then behind the scenes, I'm actively increasing the quality of those things that I'm doing. Let me give you an example, because, you know, one of the biggest what's next, it comes from YouTube, and I'm going to address that first. Because I feel like there's a lot that's coming with YouTube. There's a lot that's going to change on my channel. And, you know, my channel has been a consistent thing for the past 2 years. I mean, it hit 1 million views in 2 years. So that's averaging 500,000 views a year. And, you know, it's just been kind of a wild ride on YouTube, to be honest with you, because when I started YouTube, I started with an original channel, and that channel, it was not what I have today. It just was not the quality of content that I wanted to serve. It didn't have the look that I wanted. It didn't have anything that represented That Sowdev on that channel. So essentially, I decided to end that channel for several reasons, because I've mentioned this before, but that old YouTube channel was part of my school's email address. And it's not as easy to just transfer a YouTube channel over to another email address. It's not easy. So, and it's not easy to remove that content. So I didn't bother removing the content, and I didn't bother trying to move the channel. So I just created a new channel, and I went back and forth for the longest time. I remember I reacted to Wild Side when it came out. I contemplated in 2021 in July starting that channel. I created the channel, but I didn't start posting or doing anything like that on it. And I just sat on it for a while, because I was like, dang, I just want to sit inside, you know, this channel that I have, that I've been working on for about 1.5 years at that time. And the channel really wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't investing in the channel. I was really just posting because I was having fun. And I mean, that was the whole basis of me starting anything. The podcast, the YouTube channel, whatever. It was fun. It wasn't about business, and it wasn't about monetization or any of that stuff. So, you know, it's kind of interesting to me now, because these things have become a business because I had so much fun with it that I feel like people really resonated with the realness and the fun that came with the channel. And all of this started with that YouTube channel. There was no podcast at first. The podcast came after. I had this plan in my head. So before I even opened the YouTube channel, I remember being in college and talking to my friends, like, you know, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. I'm literally going to get over 1 million views on that channel. I'm going to be starring in movies. And I just told my friends I would be doing everything that I'm doing today. So to really see me be doing those things today, it's wild. It's genuinely so wild. So with me seeing the traction coming from that original YouTube channel, I'm like, you know what, it's time to invest. And when I did actually invest and begin posting on that channel, wow. I mean, it was crazy. It instantly started to get this attraction to it that I feel, I don't know, it was just so overwhelming in a way. I got to really see people connect to my content in a different level, and it kind of inspired me to keep making content and inspired me to make the content that I was serving better. I mean, I couldn't help it. I'm like, okay, all these people are watching, bitch. You know, I'm gonna have to give them a little something. Because, I mean, if you watch the videos on that old channel, you're gonna notice that those videos are blurry as hell. You're gonna notice that those videos do not sound good. To me, it's so cringy. It's so cringy. And if you look at this new channel, what do you see? You see it's full of life. You go to the channel and on the page, you see that it's so colorful. The blues and the pinks. You see the reaction videos, and the thumbnails of the reaction videos are in eras. Those eras are categorized by different outfits, and you can see when the eras change, and you see the thumbnails to, you know, the Spotify postcards for the podcast. You see the thumbnails for the live concert videos where I've taken such a beautiful and quality picture that I've chosen as the thumbnail, and it honestly looks so professional. But it just, the YouTube channel is so put together. It's put together in the image that I always saw for my YouTube channel, and I love that. Now it's where the question, what's next, comes from, because we started off as the YouTube channel, and in my mind, as I said, I had a plan from the beginning. We're going to start this YouTube channel, and we're going to build a basis for this YouTube channel, and then we're going to create the podcast, and then we're going to intertwine the two. I always knew that was going to happen. I didn't know when, and I didn't know how, and I didn't know why. So it all really just kind of came down to this new YouTube channel. Honestly, it did. Because once I started this new YouTube channel, that's when the podcast started to become intertwined. I built up that podcast for 2.5 years. So that way, once I intertwined the YouTube, was it 2.5 years? I actually think it was just probably a year, to be honest with you. But once I intertwined the YouTube and the podcast, that's when things started to get even more heightened. That was the what's next after I had the YouTube established, after I had the podcast established. What's next? Intertwining them. Now, after they're intertwined and I have the audio on my channel, and I have reactions, and I have live concert videos on my channel, what's next? Live podcast videos. That's already started to be implemented. I have some video podcasts on Spotify. I do. And it is more so one of those things where I just wanted to implement one thing at a time for structure, and so people can expect X, Y, and Z from me. It's the reason why I started only posting on weekends. I didn't want people requesting videos to come today, tomorrow, the day after that. You know that these come Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If it comes on any day after that, it's a surprise. But the schedule is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Podcast Friday, video Saturday, Sunday. You may get a podcast Friday, video Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You may get a video Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. You may get 2 videos Saturday, 1 Sunday. You may get 1 Saturday and 2 Sunday. I don't know, bitch. That shit ranges, okay? It's all up to what I decide, and it could depend on the fandom, what days they stream the most on, what times they stream the most on. It's just targeted based on very different variables here. So that's quite interesting to me. But the biggest what's next for YouTube, it's the live video podcasts. And I think that that is going to be something that makes the channel reach new heights. And on top of that, I do want to introduce movie and TV reactions. That's my next step. I think I want to implement movie reactions first, but also at the same time, I'm going back and forth where maybe we should start with TV shows, do maybe 30-40 minute TV shows, and then just go from there. I don't know how that's going to come out, but I do know that those are what's next. We're in the process of building my recording studio. I've got my couch, I've got my pillows, I've got my blanket, I got my rug, I've gotten everything I need to transform what the podcast looks like visually. There is no set visual for the podcast, and that's what I want to begin implementing. I'm very excited about that, actually. I've been planning video podcasts for a while. I've dipped my toes in it over the last year, but I'm finding the way that they work best for me, because everybody, they do them differently. There is no one way to do something. It's how it worked best for you. When I first started YouTube reactions, I got help from other reactors on how to do this, and then I took things from each reactor and then I did my own thing with it. And I still, to this day, I give credit to those people. Even if you watch the potential on YouTube and you've had already for several years, especially if you were standing Fifth Harmony, then they were definitely a big help in me creating this channel and figuring out how to really create reactions. So I'm very thankful for them in regards to that. So I'm really looking forward to using a lot of that advice to formulate my live video podcasts. It's what I've been looking forward to the most. TV shows and movies, those have not worked out the way that I've wanted to, because I've had so many different times that I wanted to get those out, right? And I think with these things, and especially in this industry, timing is everything. So I don't think anything needs to be rushed. Things are going to happen when they're meant to happen. And, I was like, High School Musical Season 4, I'm going to implement TV show reactions because those are short and I enjoy them, and it's not something too in-depth to where, I don't know, a bitch gotta take notes. Because one thing I'm not gonna do, I'm not taking the motherfucking notes in the video. No, I'm not. I see people taking notes, especially in Harry Potter reactions, and I'm like, oh no, baby, I'm sorry, but that's not me. I'm not doing that. But I mean, it's just it's one of those things, where, like I said, for High School Musical, the TV series, I wanted to do that, but then it ended up where they were like, okay, we're just going to release all the episodes at once, and they were doing weekly releases. So I had time to record, edit that, get that out. There was space, and it wasn't just too overwhelming, but with everything that I was doing, it was overwhelming. And I think after that moment, that was a time when I was like, okay, I need an editor. I need a videographer. I need a team to help me capture the vision for this brand. And that's what I did. I went out, I got the most wonderful people. They know that I'm taking my time with all of this shit. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, it may not be next month, but we're actively moving together, I feel like, as a unit, and everybody is, doing their own thing in between the things that we do together. I have an editor who hasn't edited a single thing for me yet, because we know that once we get to the video podcast, the TV shows, the movie reactions, there's going to be a lot happening. So I think that we're just giving things time right now, and as the studio is built, I do believe that the studio will be finished, I want to say January, and I want to get into reactions before March. I want to get into live video podcasts before March, and I want to get into those TV and movie reactions before March. But we will see. One of those things are happening before March. I think we will be doing the live podcast first, and then the movie and TV reactions. So there's a lot of things, and this podcast obviously is just for people who have been actively keeping up, and there has been quite a few people who have been keeping up actively, and I do appreciate that. There are a lot of things that are in play right now. We had Spotify for podcasts. We've been using that as a servicer for so long. Originally it was called Anchor, then it went to Spotify for podcasters, now it's Spotify for creators. They have been actively changing the platform that we've been using for years now, and it has impacted the quality of podcasts, how we get it out, and also the background music as well. It's so different, and to me it feels like the podcast has way less care than it did before, because we don't have the same amount of tools. So I'm essentially redoing everything. I truly am. Just because I want the podcast to feel like home. I want people to listen to it and being captured in a feeling. I remember my intros, my outros, the music, everything was just so well done. And now it doesn't feel like that to me. To a lot of people, it feels entirely the same. It feels like nothing has changed at all. But to me, I notice it. And I'm not having that. Okay? But, this is what's next. And this has been next. Not for a month, not for 2 months, not even for several months, for about a year or so. So whenever somebody asks me what's next, I'm already doing what's next. Like, we're taking the steps to get these video podcasts visually stunning. We're building a little recording studio. We're making sure that this recording studio matches the color of the brand. We're making sure that we have a little table for our mics. We're making sure that we have vinyls, hung up posters. We're making sure that we have throw pillows of our brand. Like, there's just so much of detail that's going into this. And it excites me because it's making it feel more real. And I was just talking to my therapist about this. Like, it almost feels like imposter syndrome when you think about, like, I've created a brand. I've created several brands, even sub-brands within that brand. Like, this is That Sowdev. And under That Sowdev, you have So Sweets, which is also the baking venture of things. I also do a little radio. You have That So Radio. It's just a bunch of things that's under the brand of That Sowdev that is a consistent brand. That when you see the things on this platform over here or nominated over here on this chart over here, it's just kind of like, oh shit, like, this is a real thing that I've started, that I've done, that I've created from the ground up. And it's just the fact that it's just so representative of who I am as a person. I mean, that's Sowdev. Like, that is so on brand for me. The pink, the purples, the blues, those are my colors. That is so representative of me and my personality. So I think that, especially after that YouTube channel, when I wanted to create the brand, it really started to just kind of take a mind of its own. And I have merch, obviously, for my brand. It's YouTube merch specifically. And I always want to specify YouTube merch because the merch that I sell on YouTube is for YouTube. It's not my general merch brand that I'm actively promoting maybe on my website or something for you to buy directly from me. This is through a third party where we worked together and created these type of merchandise that reflects the brand as best as we could with limited resources. If I had the option, and I'm actively working on that, but hypothetically, let's say I have the option, right? We know what my logo looks like. My logo would be right there in the middle. I would have the blue t-shirt to match. I would have the outlining of the t-shirt, maybe purple. Like, that's just the idea of things that I am creating and that I would create. That is just, I want to have custom merch that is more of me. I think what I have now is as best of me as we can get right now. And in the meantime, I want to say over the next 6 months or so, I'm going to be introducing another shop that really has more of me into it than my spread shop. So I would stay on the lookout for that, because that's absolutely next. What's next? TV and movie reactions, video podcast, customized merch. That is next for me. And, I'm not thinking too far ahead. I'm focusing on these things specifically before I move ahead. I don't want to think too far ahead. I know what I would like to do ahead. It is written down, but I'm focusing on just a couple things at a time. And once we move those forward, then we can focus on other things, because that's when I get overwhelmed, when I do way too many things at once. And I'm not trying to burn myself out, which is also why I have a team. So I'm very, very thankful for that. In regards to, YouTube, I've gotten, what's next? You hit 1 million views on your channel. Wait, what's next, bitch? I mean, 1 million views on a video. How about that? Like, I've gotten 20,000 on a YouTube video, a content video. I've gotten 10,000 on a reaction video. I've gotten several thousands on reaction videos. I've gotten 59,000 on a short. I just have a wide range of videos that have good amounts of views, child. Good amounts, okay? So I think where we're at now is, we've broken the barrier of double-digit videos. Now we're going towards triple-digit videos, And when I say triple digits, I mean like 100,000. That's what I mean. We've hit 56,000, we hit 20,000, 10,000. I would like to see a video that has 100,000 views. Don't know how, don't know why, bitch, but I'm telling you now, it's gonna happen. I have it on Instagram, again, which is odd. I have 2 videos over 100,000 on Instagram, and I'm like, really? Like, you couldn't have given me this somewhere where, like, come on now. Like, come on! Give me my fucking money! No, but it's always quite interesting to me, actually, how views work in the monetization of it all. Because I've been monetizing YouTube and Instagram for a while, and it's honestly just growing and growing. I know when you say that, a lot of people, it's 2 things. Some people think you make absolutely zero, and some people think you make millions. It's like, I need y'all to find a happy fucking medium, because I'm definitely not bringing home millions, but I'm definitely not bringing home zeros. So we need to be fucking for real. But it's really all what you put into it. If you don't put anything into it, you're not gonna get shit out of it. The thing about being a creator and being a content creator, you constantly have to adjust. And I don't know that many people talk about it as much as they probably should. But you have to be able to adjust, because on YouTube, if that algorithm decides that it wants to switch up on you and your videos aren't really hitting, then you kind of have to adjust a little bit to kind of get it back inside of a comfort zone for yourself. And that's just kind of what I've been doing over the last year on YouTube. It's been kind of insane. I've been readjusting, because I would get good videos a couple years ago, and then it would just stop, and I wouldn't know how to get back. But I'm at a time now where I'm like, okay, so that's not working. We need to go and do this over here, and then it gets my views back where they need to be. So and again, it's always going to be crazy to me when I think about the videos that get 1,000, 2,000, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,000 views or whatever on these videos. And I just remember that first channel only ever having, 78 views. Like, oh my God, please let this motherfucker get to 100 views. Sharing this video, like literally sharing the video link under every possible video you could think of. Sharing that video link everywhere. It ain't do shit. It ain't do shit. But you know what? I was making sure the videos got open to at least 100, bitch. I'm telling you, at least 100. I was not worried about it doing 1,000 or whatever the case may be. I was just like, girl, let's just get somewhere first, okay? It worked out for me, obviously, because look where the hell we at now. So what I can say on YouTube is the best thing that you can do is consistency. Look, there's no telling what a YouTube video is going to do. There are people who have no videos who can go post a video right now, and that video will get 10,000 views. There are some people who will go on YouTube and post every day for the rest of their lives and maybe never see a video over 10,000. And it's absolutely fucking insane. I don't know how the YouTube algorithm works, but I'm definitely fighting against that bitch every day. I'll tell you that now. Hey, well, hey, like, it's hard to be fucking for real. But, you know, all of these things are next for me. Every last thing that I'm talking about, all of these things are next. There's always something next. I'm on a film set right now, right? What's next for me? Well, the film set that I booked to be next about 2 weeks ago. Like, by the time you ask me what's next is planned and happening already. So I stay ahead of the curve. I constantly keep myself booked. I'm constantly taking every opportunity that pops up, and no, I don't sleep. A bitch will sleep when she's dead. So hello, I'm going to be working my ass off until I get where I needs to fucking be. And you know, like I tell people, yeah, I'm on YouTube. I do YouTube. Yep. Got a podcast. I do podcasting. Yep. I'm on movie sets. I do be acting. Yep. I be on stage. I do be dancing. I do be singing. What's next? Music. Let's talk about it. Music is next for me. If we're talking about what's next, you're doing YouTube, you've done YouTube, you've done podcasting, you've done this, you've done that. What's next? Music. Music is the final fucking boss for me. For several reasons. Singing is such a vulnerable thing, and I don't know if many people consciously realize that, because a lot of people do realize that, because a lot of people don't sing because they can't. And a lot of people have the mentality, you can't sing, you don't sing, right? Like, and people get judged for not singing the best, and everybody knows that there is a vulnerability around singing, whether it's conscious or not. So for me, it's just kind of like, you know, getting past the whole internalized anxiety that a person has had for years. I mean, you know, at some point in my lifetime, it has been my singing, I should say, has been engulfed by anxiety. I grew up singing on the choir. I did. Ever since I was popped out the motherfucking womb, I have been singing The Battle Is Not Yours by Yolanda Adams. It's time to be serious. Like, singing has always been this main part of my life. And I've always known that I was going to make my own music and that I was going to sing. But again, I've lost the I had lost the passion. I had lost the will to sing because of the judgment that I had to face throughout my life. And maybe it hadn't come specifically from singing, but generally, once you get engulfed in that anxiety and that depression, that judgment, you often move away from the things that are good for you. And singing was one of them. So I remember I would sing like all the time. I would sing, but then I would sing off key on purpose so that way I couldn't be judged. So at the least when somebody was just like, "Oh, you sound kind of good," I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, cute. I'm not, thank you." You know what I mean? Like, so you wouldn't think that this is my full capability of singing, and it's so sad. That was in high school, but it was so sad. Like, I remember I had a tryout, girl, and I could not, like, I was singing down, but it just wasn't projected. Like, it was left under all that fear and judgment. So the space that I'm kind of in now, I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. I do sound good. I do sing. I'm not a fucking Adele, but you want to know what, bitch? A bitch holds his own. That's what a bitch do. And that's what a bitch is doing now. So, you know, I'm very excited to release music because I've been making music for years now, actually. When I say years, you know, like, when did I really start? Like, I moved out in Vegas in 2019. So, about 2020, I started, you know, really exploring the music I wanted to make, the kind of lyrics I wanted to write. Like, it took a lot of self-exploration over the last couple of years. And I want to say 2022 was when I formed my fully first formed song, like entirely formed. And it was like, whoa, like there's a lot of capability in here. I knew that it sounded immature because I know what a song authentically should sound like. I know how it should feel to me. And I worked from 2022 up until now to find that feeling in a song that makes me lose myself, that makes me have chills, that makes me want to get up and dance and sing, and and I've found a nice happy medium area. I have songs right now that I just play that bitch and I lose all sense of self. Like, I get lost in the music. I dance, I do the choreography, and like, you know what I mean? It's insane, because the main reason why I wanted to make music to even begin with was so that way I could have my own fucking concerts in my room. I'm not joking, bitch. Like, come on now, give me my motherfucking microphone, set the motherfucking stage, the bed area is where the motherfucking pit is, you need to get the fuck up, stop playing with me. No, it's giving world tour. Yep, absolutely, the set banging, you better believe that. Like, it's crazy, because, I have that feeling in the music. When I hear my music, I have the feeling that I've been wanting to achieve, and now it's really just, really bringing all of that even more so to life, to where I feel comfortable releasing it. So now I'm in the time of really making these demos become more mastered and making the quality increase on songs, and it's just a lot of intricacies that I am polishing, and I'm super excited to get that done. So the biggest question of what's next is music. And I waited to the very end, obviously, to talk about it, because music, like I said, is the final fucking boss. And when that music comes out, I think a lot of people are going to vibe to it. I don't give a fuck if it's going to be anybody's tea or not. I'm making this so it's my tea, and I'm just sharing that with the rest of the world. Whoever likes it, likes it. Whoever doesn't, that's fine. There's plenty of music that they do like. They can go stream that. Hello, ho? You serious? Okay. But anyway, that's really all I have to say. This whole podcast was just essentially talking about what's next, and really kind of asking myself that question, and really kind of having just open conversation with you guys about what I am doing next, and what I would like to do next, and what is on my mind concerning the question, what's next. So that's really all. I do appreciate you guys, because y'all know we be having conversations down, and I mean down, like, it's serious. But every time that we have conversations, it feels so genuine. We're besties. Oh my God. I love that for us. All right, y'all. But I do appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for streaming the That's Sowdev podcast, where you stay true and stay you. You guys are awesome. I mean, like, the support and the love that I get from you guys, it's genuinely unspeakable to me. The comments and the feedback that I get, you guys really be fucking with that Sowdev, and that's crazy. But love that for y'all, love that for us. So, like I said, make sure you drink some water, eat some good food, take care of yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, child, then who the hell will? Well, I'm here to support though. All right, y'all. No, for I'm getting off of here, because y'all know I'll keep babbling and all that good shit. Anyway. Again, thank you so much for streaming the That's Sowdev podcast. Like I said before, you stay true and you stay you, boo. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms at That's Sowdev on Twitter, Instagram, and all the above, including Blue Sky, because I'm hopping over there. Anyway, I appreciate you guys, and I will see you on the next podcast. Peace.